These are the solutions for the third practice quiz for quiz 8 in the third trimester of Algebra 2. So on problems 1 and 2, you're using this standard normal curve, and you need to figure out how many times is that standard deviation being added and subtracted, or what is the percent that goes with it. So on problem 1, 68.2, so that's going to be one time that we need to add and subtract the standard deviation. And I'll say this, it can be once, twice, or 3 times. So 85 and 111 are the two boundaries. Okay, 78 and 98. So this looks like one time. Get it right this time. And 88 plus 10, 98. So one time means 68.2%. But again, it can be once, twice, or 3 times, depending upon how many times that you're adding and subtracting that standard deviation. Okay, so again, when you use a standard or a normal distribution calculator, you are calculating that part of the bell curve for which this is true. So the mean is 100, and so we're going 120 to 130. So we're kind of like off to the right of the mean here. And it's calculating the area under that curve from 120 to 130 if the 100 is the mean and the standard deviation is 10. What is that little area there? That's all a normal distribution calculator does. And so the rest of the way, you're using the normal distribution calculator and the concept of the complement. So here we have so many babies that are born prematurely. Subtract that from 100% to get the percentage that are not born prematurely. All right, so here's our normal distribution calculator. It's in the learning plan for quiz 8. And I'll show this one more time. So we have 100 is the mean. The standard deviation is 10. And we are between 120 and 130. And the answer will come right up. So 0.0214, so 0.021, 2.1%. Not too many for that. So you're, again, you're above some number, below some number, or between two numbers with the mean and the standard deviation given. So very, very easy calculator to use. I suggest that you use it to do this. It's a lot simpler than the function on the calculator. All right, so what percentage of babies are born prematurely? So it's, again, 19 days, which would be 219 or less, so below 219. And when you do this, this is about 0.029, which is 2.9%. So what is the complement to that? That complement is 97.1%. Okay, levels below 159, same idea, 84.1% of the population. Again, all you're doing, the bell curve, that area under that is 1 or 100%. So you're just taking a slice of that. That's what the calculator is figuring. It's a calculus thing that it's doing, but that's what your calculator is doing. So same thing here. Let me zoom out just a bit. You want to, you have 62 and 1.8 for the mean and standard deviation. These three here are going to add to 100% when you do them, because we're taking that whole amount under the bell curve when you do it. Okay, so I'm going to just quickly put these down. So this is 1.3, this is 85.4, and this is 13.3. Okay, as you do all of those calculations for that using the normal distribution calculator. So we combine parts A and C. Okay, so you're doing 0.013 plus 0.133 and that's 0.146. And then that gets multiplied by the 12,900. And there's some rounding issues. I wouldn't get, so 1883. I'll be able to tell if you did this right. And then, so the complement is 12,900 minus 1883, which is 11,017. So these two add to the 12,900. Okay, outlier to the left and the right. So this is where you subtract 3 times. It's 3 times, boys and girls, 3 times. And you add 3 times. So that's the purpose of the standard deviation, to let you know, and you can't see all the data, you know, what values am I working with for how much of the data that I'm looking at. This is 56.6, and then this is 67.4 inches. So it just gives you a really good idea, you know, what's a really tall woman in this sample, what's a really short woman, but it gives you a good idea of percentages of data when you look at this. You know, so most of your data, so your outliers, 99.73% of your data with normally distributed data are not outliers. So it's beyond that, the 3 mark that you have outliers. Okay, so those are the solutions for the third practice quiz for quiz 8 in the third trimester of Algebra 2.